Hello everyone. In this video I will be discussing the topic of biological parasites as well as spiritual energy parasites. And there is a connection between those two phenomena. Biological parasites are organisms that live off of a host, a biological being. So they in some way attach to or infest themselves in the physical body of the host organism and in some way are competing for nutrients, for energy, for that life force. Spiritual energy parasites function on an energetic or spiritual level, so they in some way attach to another being on that spiritual energy level and drain the energy or resources in that manner. Biological parasites are something that can be treated on a physical level. There are different types of medicines, different herbs, different things that can be used to kind of make it inhospitable in the body for those organisms to exist there. You'll find that there are herbal parasite cleanses that you can take. There's also something called a zapper, which is an electrical device that sends electrical pulses through the body that are designed to drive out parasites. If you have parasites in your body, those are valuable methods to use to help clear them out. So chemically and electrically, you can make it very uncomfortable, undesirable for those parasites to exist there. You can kill off the parasites that are in the body. And when you do this, your body is going to become healthier because you don't have those other organisms there that are draining you, that are taking away nutrients from your body, that are in a sense sucking up your energy. If you're dealing with spiritual energy parasites, then you'll also want to make it inhospitable for them to exist in your energy field. Many times people attract those spiritual energy parasites because they have some type of weakness or vulnerability in their energy system. They may also have some type of addiction or pattern in their energy that allows for those energetic parasites to vicariously experience what this physical person is doing. For example, a person who has a drug addiction, it could be to cigarettes, to alcohol, to various recreational or pharmaceutical drugs. That person's experience of the effect of the drug can be carried through, in a sense, to a spiritual being that's still attached to its physical experiences from its prior physical incarnation. This is sometimes referred to as an astral parasite, for that spiritual being is an entity that exists on the lower levels of the astral plane, the non-physical realm. They are still very much attached to certain desires, certain feelings or emotions that they carried in their human experience. So they seek out those experiences vicariously now by attaching their energy to the energy field of a being that is present on the earth in a physical incarnation. If you would like to regain your health and your balance, you would want to cut off the connections to those astral or spiritual energy parasites. And to do that, you would need to work on your own self-healing. to clear away those attachments and addictions you have, to heal and resolve any psychological or emotional trauma that you carry, anything that is disturbing your energy field, creating that weakness or vulnerability which allows those energetic parasites to attach to you and to cling to you and siphon off the energy that you radiate. Spiritual energy parasites are actually quite common, and there's a spectrum of the extent to which they can attach themselves. Sometimes they're just kind of hovering in your energy field, whereas in some cases people appear to be, in a sense, fully possessed by an entity, where they're in some way allowing that energy to kind of take them over, to be in control of them, to be guiding them. That's a very severe form of spiritual energy parasite attachment. Often when a person has those spiritual energy parasites attached to them, when they have that weakness or vulnerability in their energy field, they will also have the physical, biological parasites. So one of those phenomena can be connected to the other, and to heal or resolve it on one level may also involve doing things to heal it or resolve it on the other level. So the spiritual and the physical levels are not separate from one another. If you have a vulnerability or weakness on one level, it's usually reflected as well on the other level. For those that are dealing with biological parasites, in addition to doing a parasite cleanse using some type of herbal formula or other means, you would also want to work on clearing your energy field, on restoring and refreshing your vital energy, so that your energy field becomes clear and vibrant, healthy and whole, in a coherent state where you won't be vulnerable any longer to those entities attaching to you, whether it's on a spiritual or a physical level. I recommend that people receive different forms of energy healing as well as deep emotional healing. It could be a shamanic type of energy extraction or shamanic soul retrieval. It could be things like Reiki, quantum touch, other forms of energetic balancing, and various forms of spiritual study that would help you shift your basic belief systems and transform your consciousness so that you are functioning at a level where you're not caught up in those dualistic dramas, where you would be in a relationship with some other being or entity that allows for them to drain you. We want to be whole and complete within ourselves and empowered within ourselves, where we're drawing energy from the divine, from the source of life, where we're not dependent on taking energy from another being, and we're not letting another being take energy from us to drain us. Ideally, each of us is conscious of our connection to the source of life, to a spiritual essence. And when we feel and appreciate that connection, that awareness that we are part of that infinite whole, we can receive and get our energy from that source, rather than feeling we need to attach to some other being to drain their energy at the expense of their life force. This is essentially what parasites end up doing. They're draining the energy of some other life form eventually leading to the demise of that other being, at least on a physical level. If an entity is able to receive its energy and sustenance from the divine, it doesn't need to receive it or draw it from some other source. This is kind of an archetypal level issue that we all need to address. To some extent, we all function as parasites. We're all drawing our sustenance in some way from some other life forms. If you're a human being and you're eating food, you're receiving energy and sustenance from the food you eat. That in itself is a form of parasitic behavior. We just don't usually think of ourselves in that manner, but we are drawing energy from other life forms. So we can't really blame those parasites that may infest us from doing what they're doing, since in some respect we are doing something similar, maybe not to the same degree or extent, but we are also taking energy from some other being. So rather than getting upset or angry or feeling some resentment toward whatever biological or spiritual beings may have been draining your energy, it's okay to forgive them, to understand the way they function, and then to fully empower and bring yourself into a state of health and wholeness so that you aren't affected anymore by those entities. I hope that this discussion has given you some insight into this topic, some ideas about how you can restore your health, both physiologically and spiritually or energetically. For those that are interested in learning more about spirituality and holistic healing, I invite you to watch more of my videos on YouTube, and also to visit my website at www.phinsights.com. That's PHINSIGHTS.com. For now, this is Jed Schlackman wishing you a wonderful day. Namaste.